Hello and welcome to New Filmmakers Los Angeles in partnership with Movie Maker magazine. My name is Danny DeLillo and we're here at the South Park Center and I'm here with Rose with her movie, Now or Never. Let's take a look at the clip.
Oh, it was Christmas Eve, and do the children still believe, safe in their beds, sugar dreams fill their heads. Oh, and Mama and me, snuggled up beside the tree, loving and warm, wrapped up in each other's arms.
Rose, thank you for being here and coming all the way from Toronto to be with us.
Thank you for having me.
And congratulations on your film as well.
Thank you.
For those that haven't seen it, tell us a brief synopsis.
So Now or Never is the story of two women who meet in a bar after they've both been dumped on Christmas Eve.
I mean, it's tragic.
Yeah, it's kind of a dramedy. It's sort of about how you can meet an unexpected role model. The younger woman sees a possible future version of herself in the older woman and realizes she has to change her life or she'll wind up exactly like that.
I love hearing the inspired story you shared with our audience last night about where it kind of stemmed from. So tell us a bit, where did the inspiration come from for you?
Yeah, it came from a lot of traveling that I did over the years. I traveled all over the world on my own, mostly before the advent of social media. And I met so many really interesting people that I'd hang out with for a day or a couple days, or we'd take a train together or hang out in a youth hostel. And then I'd never ever see them again. And some of those conversations really, I think, informed me as a person, made me change how I think about things, or gave me a new perspective on something. And so I really wanted to make a film about that idea, because I think it's something we've kind of lost now that we have social media. You can friend everyone that you meet and keep track of them forever.
Yeah.
We've lost that kind of transient interaction that nevertheless has a huge effect on your life.
Yeah, it's funny, before I even knew that story, when I was watching it, I was like, oh, thank goodness she wasn't on her phone. She would have missed that interaction.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And the fact they had this conversation, because communication's the key and sometimes does get lost as well. I love your actors. I thought it was so great. They were so wonderful. How was the casting process for you?
I just cast actors I already knew and liked and I knew I could work with. The lead actor and I had actually workshopped the script beforehand in a class that I was taking, and so I know she would be perfect for the role. And then the others were just sort of people I'd worked with on other short films. So I didn't use a casting agent or anything. I just thought, these characters could really be anybody. Anyone could find themselves in this situation. So, I'll just use people that I like, that I think will be fun to work with.
And fun to work with,
Yeah.
And you filmed this in a bar.
Yes.
How was that experience?
It was actually really great. We really lucked out with our location. They were super nice to us. The bar looked nothing like that, though. I have to give props to my production designer, Kate Wright, because she really transformed that place. It's actually a punk rock concert venue, so it looks very harsh in real life, and she turned it into the sort of neighborhood bar.
And given that Christmas kind of feel to it
Yeah,
as well.
and made it look like Christmas. Yeah.
What was the biggest challenge for you in making this film?
I think the biggest challenge was just learning to trust my own instincts as a director. This was really the first film I've directed outside of film school. So there was that. I think my big takeaway was definitely, if you're the director and it's your story, you know what you want and what you need. So you have to make sure you ask for it.
Wow, I thought you'd done 20 films or something. Maybe that was your first. That's amazing. That's fantastic. For you as a director, being your first as well, are you kind of, some people are kind of more a technical director, some people more an actor's director. What's your kind of process with your actors and working with your cinematographer?
I really trusted my cinematographer a lot. I'm not the one who's standing behind the monitor the whole time. I believed he had the right vision for it, so I was more just watching the actors and I don't like to be stuck behind the monitor, so you feel so separated from what's actually happening in the room, you know. So yeah, and my DP was great. I worked with him forever.
It was wonderful. And when did you shoot this, by the way? Because to kind of get this very Christmas feel to it.
We shot it in May.
Of course, yeah. Yeah.
It's all indoors, so you can't
you're okay.
tell.
You can hide it all and stuff.
Yeah.
What's it like to scary? I'm sure it's your first time as a director to put this in front of an audience at NewFilmmakers LA. What was that experience like for you?
It was really great. I love watching it with an audience because it's especially at this time, I was really pleased that there was a lot of audience reaction. You know, I love when people go ooh and ah, or they laugh, or and it's funny, it's been in a couple festivals so far, and it's been a different sort of audience experience every time. In some places, they've been very reserved, in other places, not so much. So
we're not very reserved.
No.
So we're quite out there. It was so nice as well because this is part of our InFocus program, focusing on Canadian filmmakers. Was it kind of nice and special to be part of fellow Canadians as well?
Yeah, it really was. I felt very proud and patriotic to see the Canada logo up there on the screen. It's like I'm representing my country in a way. So yeah, it's very cool. And I mean, there was a beautiful program. I'm so impressed with my fellow Canadian filmmakers. Like, wow, we can bring it.
You can bring it on, please. What is something that you've learned from your being first-time director? For anybody else out there that's like, I'm kind of scared to make my first film, like as a director, what do I do? Is there anything you go by that you may have learned in school or along your journey?
I think just jump in there and do it. It is kind of terrifying. Like, I don't think I slept a wink the night before our first shoot day. So there's so much on your shoulders, but it's a wonderful experience, I think. And the most inspiring thing I found about it was just, everybody there is working for you. They're working to make your story and your vision. And if you have I had a great crew and cast who all really cared about making this thing a reality. So I kind of, I really appreciated them so much.
And what's next for you?
I'm writing some stuff, and hopefully we'll be shooting something else soon. And I've been working in television a little bit, and so it's progressing. Things are progressing.
Is there any potential possibility you might extend the Now or Never into something more, TV or feature or something? Is that something cross your mind? Because I love that story of just interaction and communication in those moments and everything. Was wonderful.
I think those themes will definitely come up again. I don't know if I'll extend that exact story into anything, but I'm sure similar interactions will show up in future projects, because I just love that idea of interaction and how people can relate to each other no matter who they are.
Exactly. And I think the nicest thing that I hope our audience also took from it as well is that that was a moment where we learned something. There was a great morality to that moment of just kind of embracing those moments, learning from people that we may interact with for a short period of time, and reminding us that sometimes when we're too much doing this, we could be up and looking around and meeting people and communicating, and that's a great thing.
Exactly.
So thank you for reminding us about that. So thank you very much. Rose, everybody, Now or Never, you have to see it.